Well, here we are. Wait a second. I'm playing some music. This is from Time to Advance. Chuck has some really cool music there. How are you? Good to see you all. And I'm thankful for all of you. You guys have been my lifeline and one of my great joys. Yeah, it is kind of cool music. You know what I think I'm going to do this year? I think I'm going to do more music. Hey, look, I've got this cool keyboard over here. The Kurzweil. I think I should put some lights on in here. Hang on. So I got something I want to talk to you about. Don't jump off right away. Here we are in my garage, where I have all my products. Look at this office, look at this. What kind of crazy madhouse is it? What kind of madness is it? All right, well, perhaps I should put the music off in the background, but I have something I want to show you. It has to do with this realization this year. But I like this music. Turn the volume up. I need a new surround sound. Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment. But I was looking through my library of different things, and I felt like the Lord was saying, hey, you know, that a lot of my audience is in this period of transition right now. Hold on a second. I'm trying to plug this into you. A lot of my audience is in transition. And when I say transition, I mean this is the year in which you're going to be stepping into some new things. You know, I started over when I was 50, a decade ago. That gives you some quick math. I'm like 60 now. But a decade ago, I started over, moved 1,500 miles away from a 20-year career pastoring and kind of settling in, and just felt like this Seven Mountain message required me to do something else. Kim Clement and Mark Sharona both challenged me. I needed to move. And I'm sharing that with you now because I had to leave my income, my base, my career. I spent 23 years in this location and loved it, but I had to start all over. And frankly, I was actually getting off track when I was there because I wasn't stepping into the next season. And you know, it's like weird how you can actually become vulnerable if you're not in warfare. You can actually go off track. So, but here's the deal. When I started over, I had to fund a ministry with no. This is like takes a gift of faith. If you think about it, I had to fund a ministry with no income, and the Lord began to teach me like these 8 keys, which is all in probably hieroglyphics for you. I don't know if it's backwards for you, but I started to learn about how you have to build an audience, and I'm sharing this with you guys because if you're 50 years old or older, you have to listen to me. Your calling is to teach. People that listen to me are people that are prophetic, revelatory individuals that actually have oracle gifts. And the word oracle, I talk about it here in this book I got, like a 30-page ebook I wrote. And I want to get this to you. And the word oracle literally is where we get the word Lego from. It means to connect together, to build sequentially. And oracles are connecting together the ideas of heaven with earth. And what I wanted to put into this book is the game changer that I found on the internet, because I began to build an audience through this power of this technology. And look, while Donald Trump is president, while there's a Cyrus anointing over America, America seems to be hell-bent on its own self-destruction. And I mean it. It's maddening. With much knowledge comes not much grief. But to look at the way that the leadership of this nation is almost bent on its destruction. But while Trump is in, you have Joseph's period of financial blessing. And you've got to grab it. You can't just wait for some revival. Don't focus on awakening if your finances aren't awakened right now. You need to be paying attention to your own backyard, because this whole thing, this whole house of cards can come tumbling down faster than Kevin Spacey's career. So I want you guys to think about how to build during these periods of plenty your audience. And the greatest field right now, the gold mine right now, isn't in Wall Street. You got to have money to start there. It isn't necessarily in starting a business unless your business is something that you can begin immediately from scratch with very little investment. Kiyosaki is the guy, Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, poor dad, said that the greatest way to have wealth increase is basically to own a business and have a business. And I want to show you how to start a business this year during the Joseph period, how to start a business. And there are 7 mountains of culture, and you can be moving into impacting media, arts, entertainment. You can be moving into the academic realm. I've told you before, those 7 mountains is where we go to teach. And I'm sorry, I look like I'm just loving this book. So I should be showing you what's in here. So I've got chapter after chapter of how I navigated through redefining, finding the niches for myself, learning to target the audience, finding out where my audience really was globally. And then recognizing how, though I didn't have experience, I did have research ability. So I positioned myself as a subject matter expert, as a researcher, kind of like I research stuff. And so I show you how to position yourself for the creation of ideas and how to find the niche that you're called to be strong in. Seth Godin has a great book called Tribes. Recommend you get it as a stocking stuffer for somebody, or read it yourself, better yet. And it says that all of us are tribal leaders with a certain tribe. If you, like my wife right now, like when she goes off on her health kicks with, undoing the damage of root canals and, and eating organically. And it's like, I was just with Michael Brown, Dr. Michael Brown the other day. He's got a book on America it doesn't never sold as well as his book on food, on, how God told him how to stop eating or something like that. But his book on nutrition is his wife's gift to him. But what I want you to see is that God has a niche for you where you can begin to go into and educate people. And when you educate them in the digital age, you can literally create a product and then create a system for dispersing the product. And you can go find out how to become the niche leader in your niche. Because you see, there's people that are following Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey, or they're following, the Covey system, or they're following whoever. But you see, those guys aren't necessarily going to be strong with a prophetic Christian worldview you've got. So you could actually talk to Christians within those niches, and you'll resonate stronger than the average person does. Go find out what the gurus are doing. Find out what someone in your niche is selling. What do they sell it for? What products do they offer? What solutions do they give? What vehicles do they use? What have they written? And where do they advertise? And this is how you put yourself. Get it? This is how you position yourself. Because you follow. I was with Patricia King one day on a cruise this year, and it was so frustrating because I said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. She said, no. The Bible says my people perish for lack of vision. That's so Patricia, flower child. So she's going vision, and actually she's a very shrewd businesswoman, flower child. But she goes vision, and she said it with such conviction, and I thought, how could I have missed that? I thought it was knowledge. And I go back, and sure enough, I find out the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. Most Christians are hyperinflated on prophetic vision and have no knowledge of how to monetize their information. But it also does say my people perish for lack of vision. But your problem ain't vision. I'm going to tell you something right now. Your problem is learning how to make a living off the vision you got. So, if I only do, here's the amazing thing. I can support myself on doing only 10% of the strategies I write about. If I did all 90% or 100%, I'd be kicking butt. I only use like 10%, but I write them all out here. I write it all out, and I'm telling you the truth. I only use Facebook and Periscope and an email list and travel around and talk. My gosh, it's terrible. But I could show you guys how you could do so much bigger than I do and impact so much more of a world than I do. I want to show you how to create a recipe for a product. By the way, what do you do? How do you market the product? How do you record it? Well, we've got this book here, which is how to find your niche and connect with your audience. I want to get you that book. And I also want you to get the ultimate toolbox, which is how to actually be able to find the creation of landing pages. For instance, I'll show you what we got right here. I've got well, let me go right here first of all. We created we had a $700 seminar we did, and we have a special feature of the seminar I want to get to you guys. And it was on social media and marketing. and it's on the tools and the uses of this stuff. Let me see if I could get through this thing. This is oh boy, it's like advanced. It's like an MBA. It's like getting a black belt in marketing from me, because you guys don't have time to make the mistakes that I made. But here's the deal I learned from Jay Abraham. How to build the power Parthenon. You know those Parthenons have all those columns in them? And Jay Abraham was like $5,000 I spent for this seminar. Jay Abraham, this brilliant Jewish consultant, said, each column represents a pillar of your financial strategy. Well, if you knock down one pillar, you can still stand up. You can knock down 5 or 10. The economy can go 10 different ways and you can still stand. But what for you, my friend, when you are a guru or a rabbi or a teacher, here's the pillars of your prosperity plan. It's your speaking engagements, seminars, digital products, one-on-one coaching, your masterminds, your books, your manuals. In other words, I show you 10 different areas that you guys can start to expand into. And I'm going to make you a special offer. If you invest in learning how to do this stuff, I mean, it's cost me, it's literally, I'm telling you, it was a $700 seminar we did here, but I pay like thousands to be able to get this. I got this stuff so cheap for you. It's like $97 or something. It's the seminar, the training, the books, and the tools. $97. It's like incredible. I just want to create a price point to see, who wants to do this, so that I know where the serious entrepreneurs are. And a lot of my audience is over 50. I started over 50, so this can work for you too. I'm not a tech whiz. But, and the other thing is you don't have any products to start with. That's okay. That's not even a bad problem, because you could use other people's products. So if you do this program, you get the training, this $97, learn everything, get all the stuff that I spent a decade, refining. You do it, and I'll work with my products with you. I've got some great new stuff coming out on personal mastery, niche mastery, career mastery, on dynamic communication processes. I mean, this stuff is stuff that I literally do masterminds with, and people pay, like $500 for the coach calls. I would be happy to share it with you, meaning you take this product seriously, you invest in it, get your $97, get up to speed with me so we're talking the same language. And if you don't have a product, you and I can I'll give you access to a product I've got, and I'll help you market it, and we'll split the income, and I'll show you how to market with other people's products. I do it with other people's products too. That's the genius of the internet. So you don't even have to worry about creating your first product, but I'll show you how to create it. Here's by the way, I wrote out for a friend of mine a $1 million business plan. If you've got 4,000 to a couple thousand people on a database, I can show you how to do a $1 million business plan on a napkin using the Power Parthenon. And man, I'm telling you, you got to do this while Cyrus is there. You don't wait until, Bernie Sanders makes a run for president and they wheel him in at 80. Master the marketing process. What is the marketing process? Well, that's stair steps. Every step is a step up the process. And we decode it, make it easy for you. And you can spend thousands of dollars with a guy named Ryan Dice to find out, or another guy, Russell Brunson. But dang. By the way, Mormons are great at this. Most of those guys are like good Mormons, which is another freaky thing. Can't find charismatics for the most part and when they do show up in this space, they're so eccentric. It's bizarre. But I want to show you the ladder. How do you price a product? For instance, when you send an email out, if it gets rejected, don't let it just reject you. You should have another email that goes out. You should have an autoresponder sequence. Come on. This doesn't fit. Lance doesn't fit. Lance, what doesn't fit? This doesn't fit for you? It doesn't fit? Well, okay, it doesn't have to fit. You don't have to be fit for life. But it fits for somebody. You know why I know that? Because I know that one of the number one things people are talking about is, transfer of wealth and the wealth. Well, here's how you get transfer of wealth. Start a business and then sell the business. But you have to have money to start a business. A couple $100,000 to start a franchise. So what are you going to do? Well, you don't have a couple $100,000. How about making $100,000 by learning how to utilize digital concepts, because you've got an audience out there and it's free. You never could advertise. Look at what I'm doing now on Periscope. My gosh. You could never do a commercial for 4,000, 5,000, or 10,000 people for free. What do you think's freaking television now? The commercial business is going nuts. Anyway, so I got the material here, and we do a seminar explaining to you all these steps of what you're going to do to take your mountain. Look at the steps I got here. Get clear in your message. Find out your tribe, connect with your tribe, develop the products that solve the problems within the niche of your tribe, and then you move into a position of preeminence by being the master of that marketing niche. Does that make sense to you? Powerful stuff, folks. Anyway, I want to make this available to you. The books, the manuals. Let me see if I can open up my Black Friday boot camp. See, we used one of the pages we gave you there to create this boot camp. LanceWallnau.com/boot camp. I think that's what it is. Yeah, LanceWallnau.com/boot camp. But like we created this thing like in an afternoon, which is a whole page to help people. That's kind of neat. So you guys, these, you don't have to pay anymore, thousands of dollars to work with a tech guy. And here it is, because I literally walk you through a video. And what you see there is like circled in red and stuff like that. That's the live video stuff that I do, the video covering every page of the manual so that you find your audience. What are the different niches that exist? How do you get inside the mind of the person that you want to talk to? How do you understand the world through their eyes? What the winning formula is for product creation? Then I give you the ebook on how to master that. We give you the PowerPoints, like 50 PowerPoints on social media selling, and the toolkit. And like I said, this is like only $97 for the whole marketing package. And I said it that way so that I could start to find, I don't know, maybe there's 100 or 200 of you out there that really need to become an internet marketing mastermind. We all need to connect with each other and talk about what works and how it works. I mean, I have a friend of mine who's working for me who only had 2,000 or 3,000 clients on their list, and they built the business up to $4 million a year because they understood how to mine in the mountain. See, the goal isn't just to get to the top of your mountain. Like the goal isn't just to get to the top of your mountain. The goal is to learn how to navigate once you're in it. So let me show you what one guy said. His name was Adam Urbanski. I flew all the way out to California. I mean, I invested a lot to get a lesson, learn this stuff. But he said to me, Lance, here's the problem. You've got a certain mountain that you've got, and let's say it's got 50,000 people that are listening to you. He said, but you're just skimming off the top here. You're just going around speaking, and then you got a little $9 book or $4.95 MP3. He said, what you haven't done is you haven't gone vertical. Look at that. You haven't gone vertical. Every level of the mountain is a different level of investment capacity. You've got people that'll pay $1,000 a month if you'll do a mastermind with them and give them that one-on-one quality attention for their business. You've got people that will pay $2,500 to do a weekend with you in Maui or something like that, and or in Bermuda. So I began to realize, he said, your vertical market in your mountain, you haven't even tapped into it. You're just skimming off the top because you're ignorant. People perish for lack of knowledge, I'm telling you. So you can't get people money if they don't have the humility to learn and the hunger to learn. But if you're waiting for a gold brick to show up in your mailbox as an answer to your prayer and your first fruits giving to your favorite ministry, you're going to wake up one day broke and embarrassed. To put it in Jim Rohn language. I don't plan on waking up at the end of my life broke and embarrassed. I've been serving God for 30 years. He's been faithful to me. But every time I run into a problem, he says, son, you don't have a prayer problem. You don't have a faith problem. You have a knowledge problem. Pray for the wisdom and the knowledge to solve that problem. You hear what I'm saying? So, anyway, you guys go to LanceWallnau.com/bootcamp. Let me find out where you marketers are out there. Grab my stuff. Compare it with what you've got out there. Get the video training, $97. You can't beat that price. Tell you right now, it cost me about 30 grand, 40 grand to be able to put it together over the years that I did. But hey, you like my glasses? Now as I'm getting older, I'm wearing glasses, and of course this gives me I think a more professorial and a softer look, a friendly look, kind of like a more of a dad look. And it even affects my voice, the way that I talk. I talk a little bit more in that velvety smooth tone of older men. Anyway, And listen to me, and I'll tell you for a fact, I'm only using like 20% of the strategies I'm showing you because guess what? Money isn't everything. But like Joe Louis said, the great boxer, he said, money isn't everything, but it sure soothes the nerves. Ha! Ain't that the truth? Anybody that says otherwise is a liar because it soothes the nerves. It does. It soothes the nerves to know that I'm going to be okay or my family's going to be all right, that this boat will float, that I'm not living from crises to crises. But I'm telling you, in a digital age, you got no excuse. You got people that need what you know. And maybe you can't travel around the world like I do, but guess what? You start going digital and you'll travel around the world. You'll travel around the world in digital land. Woo, woo! All right. And God will provide. And how does God provide? He provides you with a teacher. He provides you with an opportunity. He provides you with an opportunity. That's what he provides. Anybody who understands the Jewish system of responsibility, God provides you with the opportunity. And then your job is to show up. Your job is to pay the price. Your job is to learn, to apprentice, to study. But remember that. Remember that salvation's free, but you work out that salvation at a cost. What's the cost? Jesus said, everything. So while it's free, it costs everything. Interesting paradox. So if you want to know how to prosper in life, the answer is very simple. It's called wisdom. Wisdom is what you need to prosper. By the way, here's a shocking statement. Mike Murdoch said it, and at first I was offended by it until I realized he was right. He said his father was an intercessor, prayed 4 to 5 hours a day. His father prayed all the time. His father was an intercessor. You very seldom meet intercessors. He said, but he grew up poor because being an intercessor and close to God doesn't automatically prosper you. That makes you intimate with God. That may make you rich with God's presence, which is a form of prosperity, but it doesn't pay the bills and put your kids in college. What pays the bills isn't the number of hours you spend praying as an intercessor. It's wisdom. Wisdom is profitable to direct. So you see, wisdom is how you build a business. Prayer is how you build intimacy. Time is how you build a relationship. So if you want to see a relationship prosper, you need time with that person. If you want to see your intimacy with God prosper, you need to spend time in His presence. But then if you want to be able to see material acquisition of wealth and the creation of something of substance, you need wisdom. And that means you need to spend time with the right people, with the right subject to acquire the knowledge they've got so that you could do what they do. I'm telling you guys, man. Learn it while it's there for free, because freely we receive, freely we give. And then every now and then I have to monetize what's free because people will not follow. They will not discipline themselves. They will not take... I used to have a guy that gave me free tapes all the time, and they ended up on the floor of my car. And then I found out that when I went to the bookstore, and back in cassette days, and I'd buy the CD or I'd buy the tape in the plastic wrapper and took it off, I always put the cassette back in the container. I noticed something. I noticed that when I gave people the CDs for free, they were on the floor or between the seats, but when they paid for them, they put them back in the container. So it's not always true that free is valued. Sometimes free, because it costs nothing, people don't take care of it. And one of my problems is I think sometimes if you sell something too cheaply, people don't value what it is. I mean, I paid $2,500 for a course by Brendan Burchard, $7,000 from a course from Frank Kearns. I mean, I paid $5,000 for the course with Jay Abraham, and I'm reducing it all to give it to you for like $97. See, the value of it could sound bad because it's not priced right. That's interesting psychology, though. But that's the way, that's sometimes you can't give away. It's like a parent trying to help their kid. I'm giving the advice for free. Other people pay for my advice. Think my kids want to hear my advice? I'm like you. I'm just an opinionated old person. Anyway, I want you guys to go grab that material. Once again, take action on it. The Ultimate Toolkit. Now's the time. You got a little downtime during the holidays. I know you got a lot of festive time. This is the time when you really store up in knowledge for the new year. Get the training. LanceWallnau.com. By the way, we have Breaking Controlling Spirits on sale. For those of you that have been with controlling people for the holidays, you're about to have more controlling people around Christmas. You've got to learn how to break controlling spirits. We've got a Black Friday sale all the way through to Cyber Monday. And I got new material on breaking controlling spirits. And bam, because those spirits will try to get a hold of us. Woo-hoo-hoo, mess with your head. So I got the new material out there. Alrighty. And all going well with you guys? Are you having a good time with your holidays? Sometimes you just have to take a break from the warfare and find the joy fair. Hallelujah. What I love is I get to see my family. And I'm enjoying Robert Henderson's books lately. Been catching up with his teaching on the books, Courts of Heaven, which I think is so great. It's really a reframe of some warfare stuff that's been around, but he put it together in a fresh and beautiful way. And I'm saying that you don't have to be struggling financially this year. You ought to be starting now to build your digital strategy because you're called to teach all the nations. You're called to go into all the world. How do you do that as you get older? You can't physically go except a few places, but you can digitally stalk the earth. What a great, great era this is. And I look forward to talking with you. Yeah, I'll go. And Annabelle's in the house in there, but she's cleaning the closet right now. And boy, what a closet that is. Oh, boy. Talk to you guys soon. LanceWallnau.com/bootcamp. Grab the material and learn how to get your message out all over the airwaves on the digital landscape. It's the Wild West right now out there. You can go grab your gold mine. Talk to you soon.